Hey, it's Bill Jelen from Mr. Excel. This is one of those, boy, Microsoft did this feature not the way that I would have wanted it, and I'm pretty disappointed. But one day later, I figured out a great hack using VBA to allow us to use essentially a formula to insert an image in a cell when that image is on the local hard drive. Let's go. All right, in this episode, we're going to put a picture in a cell using a formula, and that picture is stored locally instead of on the web. We all know when the image function came out, it allowed us to take an image from a website and bring it into Excel. And a lot of people said, boy, this would be really great if we could do it with images on our local hard drive. You know, there's a lot of times where we might want to just kind of like build a path to an image. So for example, I have a folder up there, and then I want to join in the name of the file. Okay, but let's see, there's a few things we have to do. Around the A4, I want to substitute and change array occurrence of a space to a dash or a hyphen. And then at the end, I need to add ampersand dot ping, like that. And let's see, does it matter? I don't know, probably doesn't matter. I probably don't need this lowercase here. All right, but now I have a great formula that will generate the path to the image for these items. And when I heard that Microsoft was going to allow the images to be from the local hard drive, I had hoped that what they were going to do was change the image function to allow us to do this, but they didn't, right? Instead, they gave us what we talked about yesterday, insert picture, place in cell. And that just is so unsatisfying to me. So here's what I did. I've written some VBA code, and you can download this VBA code and add it to your personal macro workbook for free. I have two different versions of this. I'm going to show them both to you, and I'll show you how you can get them. The first one is I have a bunch of image URLs here thanks to a formula, and I want to replace the path with image. All right, so I've selected the range, and I want to put images here. It's a little frustrating to me that the macro recorder does cell.select and then selection.insert picture in cell. I tried to combine that into one, but it would not work. VBA will not do the insert picture in cell with just cell.insert picture in cell. Really frustrating. And then I always had this thing like yesterday, in yesterday's video, I got burned when I had 400 images and they were added in not the sequence that I expected them to be. So I needed a way to get the image path out so I could spot check to make sure that they were right. And so in my macro, I have 3 extra lines here where I add a comment. I have 3 extra lines here where I add a comment, make the comment hidden, and then put the path to the image as the text in the comment. All right, so I'm going to press Alt F8, and this is called Replace Path with Image. I'll click Run. All right, and there we are. That's beautiful. Now, to actually make these images a little bit taller, format row height will go to 45. And now I've essentially done what I could have done yesterday with pictures placed in cell, but I've done it much faster and much more accurately. Now, because I left those 3 lines of code in, we have this great little note that shows me the original path and file name. Some of my friends said, oh, I don't want to give my path away. Like, I don't know why that would be top secret, but if it is, just remove those or, whatever you need to do to not have those notes. But for me, I think I want them. All right. And then the other thing that I thought is there might be a time, especially if it's a dashboard, where this data is changing all the time and I need those formulas to stay live, but I want to put the images to the right, let's say. All right. So this code, add image to right, I select the image URLs and it's going to add the images over in column C. So add image to right, click run. And same thing there, right? So just a great little easy way to add images from a formula. Not as good as if they had given us the image function, but here we are. It's a workaround. Now just note that if the underlying data changes, you're going to have to reselect this and rerun the code to replace these images with the new path. It's not live like the image function would be. Okay, now to get this code, click that I in the top right-hand corner. And you end up out at this webpage where you can download the workbook, but most people aren't going to have to download the workbook. You're just going to simply either copy this code, replace path with image, or this code, add image to right. In VBA, you can do Alt F11. Hopefully you have a personal macro workbook. If you don't, click the eye in the top right-hand corner to watch that video on how to get a personal macro workbook. Just go to one of your modules or insert a new module and paste the code in. Now, while we're here, let's just finish up with a few things I've discovered since yesterday about these images. Yesterday, I said that the images would work with a VLOOKUP or an XLOOKUP, and indeed they do. I have a tiny little lookup table here with yes and no. The yes is green, the no is red. And I'm using a formula here. If G3 is greater than F3, so if their sales are greater than quota, then we're going to use yes or no as the lookup value. And the lookup table is this table right here, right? So that is really cool that I can change the image on the fly. But then I said, wouldn't this be great if I could right-click on the yes image, come down here to filter, and filter by selected cells value. But unfortunately, what that's going to do is it's going to give me every item with an image, whether it's yes or no. It hides the ones down here that didn't have the image. And what's happening here is, as far as the filter can see, we either have the word no or yes down here, or we have something called picture, right? And so when you ask for one picture, you're getting everything with a picture. I mean, it's even kind of funny if I right-click on one of the pictures and go to Smart Lookup. I mean, check this out. They're showing me how to pronounce the word picture. It's a painting or a drawing. Along the way, rather than adding the note in with the path, I was thinking of trying to store that in the alt text, right? So I tried this review, check accessibility, alt text, but I'm not allowed to add alt text to this picture. All right, and that's really curious because when I go out to the help topic that they've written about this new insert picture in cell, some things work. Like yesterday, I inserted multiple pictures at once. This describes exactly what happens. Paste picture in cell, yeah, we can do that. We can take, for example, this picture here, copy it, Control-C, and come down here and paste. So it's possible to paste a picture, with no hassle. But they claim that if you have a picture on the clipboard, so I'm just going to come out here. Sorry, you can't see this. I just copied something from another application. They claim that I can come and select paste picture in cell, home, paste. There is no paste picture in cell, unfortunately. Even under paste special, that doesn't exist. Or right click in cell, paste options, paste in cell. So paste options, there is no paste in cell. Right, so that's kind of weird. Like the help topic starts out being correct, but these two don't exist. Switch from a picture over cells to a picture in cell. Yeah, this does not work like they say it would. So here's a picture that's over cells. Select a picture which is over the cells. A ribbon tab will switch to picture format. Select place in cell. Yeah, I've looked all the way through here and I don't see place in cell yet. It's funny, I can set the alt text when it's floating. I'm allowed to set the alt text for something that's floating over the cells. But as soon as it's in the cell, that's not working. Place a cell through the right-click menu, select a picture, and right-click to open the context menu. Select place in cell. Yep, that's not working yet. Switch from picture in cell to picture over cells. That's not working. And then here under accessibility, they say that I could right-click a picture in the cell, choose alt text, and fill in the alt text in the side pane, and that's not working. This is really strange that someone wrote the help topic and only about 40% of the help topic is right. It almost makes me wonder, is this something that wasn't supposed to come out yet? Is this something where someone flipped a switch and we accidentally got this in Insider's beta and it's really not fully baked yet? So there you go. When you get this feature, two different macros for you, either add to the right or replace. And don't forget, check the webpage, because what always happens is people will add new comments down below. Hey, is there some way to do this instead? And we'll just add that code to the other web page as those come out. All right, well, hey, thanks to Microsoft for giving us this great new pictures in cell functionality. And really thanks for allowing us to use VBA to kind of tweak it a little bit and make it a little bit better than what we want. I want to thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel. If you like these videos, please down below like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Feel free to post any questions or comments down in the comments below.